Hi and welcome to the second episode of Blooming in Brisbane. We've got a great lineup for you today. We've got Gillian Coombe, our resident horticulturist, who's got an ID and azalea problem that we showed you in last week's episode. But first, let's go to East Ipswich where I interviewed John and Annette. Today I'm at the Silk Hut Garden in East Ipswich with John and Annette, who bought the property in the 1980s. The block was originally a part of a dairy farm and had a number of fences, concrete pads, Chinese elms, long grasses and even cattle stock at the top of the block. Today the garden is truly breathtaking and it's hard to imagine that in 2011 the entire garden was covered with floodwater and up to 19.5 metres and had devastating losses also in 2013 with floodwater coming up to approximately 15 metres high. What effect did the flood have on your garden?
Devastating. It totally ruined virtually everything on the hill down to the river. It took out probably 10, 20 trees even from the riverbank and the sides of the hill. Some died even a year later. Virtually everything on the hill had to be replanted.
What's your inspiration? Is there a theme of plants that you like? I see you've got a lot of natives and I've seen conifers.
What works we plant more of.
Yep.
There's not... We go in sometimes with a planting theme, but it's still trial and error, and so what works and is repeated, and what doesn't, we might try again, but likely is not, we won't. For example, the conifers behind. We planted those after the flood in 2011 because everything that was in there died after the flood. But after the 2013 flood, they also were flooded, but they survived. So we count them as a great success because we haven't had to replace them since the flood, which is great.
So how long do you spend a week in your garden?
At the moment the pressure's on and we're spending a lot of time, but ordinarily, how long did you spend?
Probably 6 or 7 hours a day.
Yeah, at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of time. It's very time intensive, and it's hard too because most of it's on a slope.
How many times has your garden been featured in the Open Gardens Australia?
This is its second term.
Uh-huh.
We're actually approved before the flood, and then when the flood happened we couldn't proceed. There was just too much damage. But after the 2011 flood we came good 2012. Then we had another flood this year and we've nearly got right again. Not quite. But no, so this is only its second showing. But every time people come we've had disasters. The first time people came, we had a hailstorm just before they arrived, and then another time we had a dust storm, and then we've had 2 floods, and we've had fire ants. So yes, we've had every plague known to man in Ipswich.
And you keep on going.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Who has done all the physical hard landscaping?
John's done most of it, but this concrete path we had put in by someone. But virtually every wall, every brick, every stone has been moved by John.
It's been done by hand mostly.
Yeah, you can't get machinery on it. So it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
But it keeps John fit.
Yeah.
The doctors approve.
Yeah, my checkout last time was very pleasing because just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, they do say gardening is great for your health and for your mind and for your body.
It is.
Yeah, so it's a nice workplace for me. I retired about 6 years ago from the real workforce supposedly, but I've never worked harder than what I do now.
Yes, physically.
Yeah. But it's a lovely workplace. I've always got the birds and the trees and good views, etc.
Fresh air.
And fresh air, yes.
What's your favourite plant here?
At the moment, I think it'd be the white cedar up there that's in bloom, just on the corner there. Got beautiful big reams of pale pink flowers. It's stunning.
And John, what's your favourite?
I like my purple grasses, but they're only just starting to come back now.
Most of those were flooded and lost. They've actually been planted once and then planted again. Grevilleas grow very well in Ipswich, and we've got a beautiful display, but they're all relatively young. They're all less than 2 years old because they were planted after the 2011 flood. But they do very well, and they're wonderful with birds. The birds come in and just get that nectar. They love it.
Have you done anything major to improve the soil?
It's all about the soil, and we've done everything about the soil. We mulch. We put carpet down under the mulch, which slows snakes and weeds mainly. We did it for the weeds, but we think it slows the snakes and it stops the bush turkeys as well. But mainly it's for weed control. But that's not necessarily about the soil. And it stops erosion too, yes. When we have heavy rain, we just lose things. And that seems to have stopped most of that. But with the soil, we're constantly feeding it with grass cuttings, although not that much these days. We buy manure by the trailer load, mulch by the trailer load. Sometimes we'll get soil by the trailer load. What else for the soil? We use kabachi buckets. We use from the fire pit. Down below we use ash and charcoal to make biochar. Yeah, we constantly feed the soil. Yeah. Well, this is an olive, and that's in flower at the moment, but we've never had fruit off it. So I'm not sure if we need another one to be able to create fruit, but I'm not too worried. There's passion fruit from the deck. There's 2 kumquats, a guava, lemon, mandarin, orange, finger lime, tangelo, and grapes, and a fig tree, and pawpaws, pumpkins. There's a very productive garden. And we like that because if you're eating your own homegrown fruit, you know where it's come from, you know it hasn't been sprayed.
Lovely. So what are your future plans for your garden?
Finish where we started up the top and get all of this. We won't be doing a whole lot more than we're doing now in terms of bringing it back. And downhill, down by the river, we think probably the best solution is just to mow as much as we can.
Thank you so much, John and Annette, for allowing me to visit your garden, and thanks again for opening it up for Australia. I truly appreciate it, and it was such a beautiful experience. Up next, Gillian Coombe is going to identify that azalea problem we showed you last week.